Welcome to Gist Dish TV, your ultimate gist corner. Before we go deep into this story, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel, like this gist, share it with your friends, and turn on your notification bell so you never miss any premium Nollywood updates. This particular gist is layered, emotional, controversial, and it has kept many people talking non-stop. Now let us settle in and talk properly. The Maurice Sam and Sonia Uche situation has once again shown how fragile public perception can be in Nollywood, especially when silence, assumptions, emotions, and fans collide. What started as whispers slowly turned into loud conversations. What was once speculation became public judgment. And in the middle of it all were two popular Nollywood names whose personal lives suddenly became public entertainment. For days, Maurice Sam said nothing. And in Nollywood, silence is rarely forgiven. The internet does not wait. Fans do not wait. Bloggers do not wait. When someone refuses to speak, people begin to speak for them. Stories are created. Motives are assumed. Lines are drawn. Sides are chosen. That was exactly what happened here. Many people felt Maurice's silence meant he was hiding something. Others believed he was protecting someone. Some accused him of enjoying the attention. And a good number of people insisted that his silence was unfair, especially to Sonia Uche, who was being dragged into conversations she never started. Then, suddenly, Maurice Sam spoke. And just like that, everything changed. His response did not come with drama. It did not come with shouting. It did not come with emotional blackmail or blame. Instead, it came with calmness and restraint. That alone shocked many people. The same audience that expected a dramatic revelation was met with wisdom and maturity. Immediately, reactions were divided. Some people applauded him. They said he finally did the needful. They praised his composure and said he handled the situation like a grown man who understands that not every issue deserves emotional chaos. According to this group, Maurice waited until he had clarity and then spoke responsibly. To them, that is growth. But another group was not satisfied. They questioned the timing. They asked why he waited so long. They argued that if he had spoken earlier, things would not have escalated this far. They believe his silence created room for entitlement, rivalry, jealousy, and unnecessary emotional tension between the women involved. In their view, wisdom delayed can still cause damage. And honestly, both sides have a point. In Nollywood, timing is everything. Silence can be powerful, but it can also be dangerous. When people do not hear from you, they fill the gaps with their own narratives. And those narratives can quickly become truth in the eyes of the public. While Maurice was silent, conversations were happening elsewhere. Assumptions were being made. Feelings were getting involved. Fans were getting emotionally invested. The situation was no longer just about him. It had grown bigger than him. And this is where Sonia Uche's role becomes very interesting. Throughout all of this, Sonia remained quiet. She did not grant interviews. She did not post explanations. She did not clap back. She did not drag anyone. She simply continued living her life, focusing on her work, her happiness, and her personal growth. For many people, this silence spoke volumes. Supporters see Sonia's silence as strength. They believe she refused to dignify noise with attention. They see her as a woman who understands her worth and does not need to explain herself to the internet. To them, Sonia represents emotional maturity in a space that thrives on drama. However, critics see it differently. Some believe silence allows lies to grow. They argue that when someone does not speak, people are free to twist stories. They question whether staying silent always protects one's image or if it sometimes gives others permission to disrespect you openly. Yet, in Sonia's case, many feel her silence eventually worked in her favor. When Maurice finally spoke, the truth became clearer without her having to say a word. Sometimes, reality does the talking better than explanations ever could. Another major issue this gist exposes is emotional entitlement. From everything circulating online, it appears that one party believed there was a deeper emotional connection than what truly existed. This belief may have been fueled by public statements, attention, affection, or personal expectations. When those expectations were not met, disappointment followed. And when disappointment is mixed with pride and jealousy, it can lead to impulsive actions. This is not unique to Nollywood. It happens everywhere. When someone mistakes attention for commitment, they build emotional castles on shaky ground. And when those castles collapse, the pain can be overwhelming. In this case, many observers believe competition played a role. Not necessarily open competition, but perceived competition. The idea that someone else was an obstacle to happiness can be enough to trigger insecurity. And insecurity, when not controlled, often looks for someone to blame. That blame, unfortunately, appeared to fall on Sonia Uche in the eyes of some people. What made the situation worse was the involvement of fans and bloggers. Videos were made. Opinions were repeated. Narratives were pushed. Some bloggers emphasized one angle repeatedly, turning speculation into perceived facts. And once the internet grabs a storyline, it becomes almost impossible to control. Fans, instead of calming things down, added fuel to the fire. They defended blindly. They attacked aggressively. They spoke as if they were personally involved. This is one of the biggest problems with celebrity culture today. Fans often forget that celebrities are human beings with real emotions and real consequences. Maurice Sam's response shattered many illusions. It reminded people that not every public interaction means a relationship. That not every affection leads to commitment. That not every story the internet believes is true. For some fans, that reality was uncomfortable. Another lesson from this saga is the importance of boundaries. Clear boundaries could have prevented this entire situation from escalating. Boundaries protect emotions. Boundaries protect dignity. Boundaries prevent assumptions. When boundaries are unclear, people fill the gaps with hope, fear, or entitlement. In Nollywood, where on-screen chemistry often blurs personal lines, boundaries are even more important. The audience sometimes forgets that acting is a job. Chemistry on screen does not automatically translate to romance off screen. And when people fail to separate the two, confusion is inevitable. Despite all the noise, life goes on. Sonia Uche continues to thrive and mind her business. Maurice Sam continues his career and personal journey. Nollywood continues to produce stories that keep people talking. And the internet slowly moves on to the next trending topic. But the lessons from this situation should not be ignored. This gist teaches us that you cannot please everyone. When you speak, people will complain. When you stay silent, people will complain. When you act early, people will criticize. When you act late, people will still criticize. At some point, you must choose peace over applause. It also reminds us that love cannot be forced. Attention is not love. Public validation is not commitment. And silence does not always mean weakness. Sometimes, the strongest response is calmness. Sometimes, the wisest move is restraint. And sometimes, doing nothing is doing everything. Now, the question remains for you. Do you believe Maurice Sam truly applied wisdom, or do you think he waited too long? Do you see Sonia Uche's silence as emotional strength or missed opportunity? And in situations like this, who truly wins in the end, the one who speaks or the one who stays quiet? Drop your honest thoughts in the comment section. Do not forget to subscribe to Gist Dish TV, like this gist, share it, and stay tuned for more exclusive Nollywood gist.